Good morning, I'm Karen Rawls of Chevron Public Affairs, and we'd like to welcome you to the A+ Challenge Speaker Series. Chevron and A+ Challenge share a common vision, and that is to be a catalyst for change and a model for innovation. And today's guest speaker, Ms. Amanda Ripley, New York Times bestseller author of The Smartest Kids in the World and How They Got There.
Before I turn the podium over to Amanda, Amanda's going to talk about some of the smartest kids in the world. But Caroline and the Museum of Fine Arts here in Houston mentioned a mobile school that we've started. And I just wanted to sort of give a quick 2-minute update on what we consider to be some of the smartest kids in the world. So this is what we're finding. We are finding huge growths in reading, writing, and problem-solving abilities. The reason why is because we're spending time on reading, writing, and problem-solving. And it's amazing when you let kids have an opportunity to spend time improving their skills. Guess what? Skills improve. Here's another big learning for us. Only 1 year in. So there were a lot of folks that tried to convince me when I was in the traditional system that kids could not figure out how to self-direct their learning. And that is absolutely wrong. They need help figuring out how to self-direct their learning. But I would invite all of you to come to the school and see not only kids self-directing their learning, but now families, teachers, and kids directing the learning. I mentioned this last night, that now through the Edmodo platform, we actually have parents that are chiming in on students' work real time. So the kid is working on some sort of an assignment, and either mom or dad are right on the platform looking at the kid as the kid is performing for the learning coach. I guess the last thing that was like totally underestimated by myself when we went into this, and I should have known better, but it's the power of relationships. So the learning coach is responsible for about 25 kids. So we have 2 learning coaches, we have to have about 45 kids. And this is something that Amanda, well, I guess it was a question last night at the dinner. In the Chinese system, oftentimes on grade levels, there's 1 teacher, right? So we only have that in the elementary model. And then when we go to the secondary model, we start populating learners with a lot of teachers. What we're learning is the curriculum is basic enough still at the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade that pretty much anybody in this room could teach the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade American curriculum. But what I think we found through A+ Up is the power of the relationship between the learning coach and the learner. It is extremely evident to me that this is something that is underestimated and undervalued in many of our traditional systems. So I'm going to be quiet about it. I just thought, we're about 1 year in, actually, from the calendar date. We're going to release some reports on our website. University of Houston just did a fine report on the first year. We've got some Stanford data to share around 1 year, actually 1 year calendar growth. So I would invite all of you to get on our website within the next week or so and take a look at the progress. The last thing I'll say about it is we've launched a second site in partnership with neighborhood centers over at Ripley House on the East End. And we're very excited about that launch, and we look forward to seeing as much advancement with those kids as we've seen with the Museum District kids. So on to our speaker. Amanda Ripley has written a book. It is a very popular book. We wanted Amanda to come here, the smartest kids in the world. And so she's going to talk about what she learned through her research. But I think the reason why Amanda is launching the speaker series for 2014-2015 is, many of you remember last year, we sort of had the world come to us, right? So we had Singapore represented, Finland, India, we had Andres Schleicher to kind of make sense of what's happening in the entire world. And we got really good feedback from you to say, you know, that was great and that was interesting, but we really need some Americans to provide context for what the world is practicing and trying to teach us. And we could not think of anyone better than Amanda Ripley to start with that context. So, Amanda, welcome to Houston.